Continue with us. In Jesus' name I have prayed. Amen.
Thank you. We are going to circulate this form. It's an attendance form for the hotel, for the purposes of the hotel. So please just fill in your number, your name, kawaida, what we normally do with meetings. Good. At this point, we will call, let Chair finish, then we will call her to come and start off for us. Our Master of Ceremony for our deliberations and our stay here by volunteership is Madam Lucy. She'll take over once the chairman has given her talk, has opened for us. Then she'll take us through the program. So, Madam Chair, you're done? Kuongelesha watu wako.
Thank you so much. I hear that you are mine now. I love the way the politicians work. They possess the whole country. And I'm also very excited. Good morning. Good morning. I'm very excited this morning to see you. Actually, today I did a test. I was studying somewhere, and there were a group of people who came for. They were walking, and they passed me, and I did not talk to them. They cannot recognize me. Did you notice you in the morning? Yeah. They passed me. Did you see me anywhere? No. We didn't see me. Sylvia was telling you. They passed me. Where are you? Where are you? In the parking. The parking, I was there. And I see you coming in. We didn't pass through the parking. We only passed by. Oh, yeah. You did not see it. No, yes. Yeah, so I think. Yeah. So as you already know, I think I like this one. So it's a good way of coming and getting together and catching up. And I think we continue enjoying. And I'm wondering whether we can do it more often, because I remember it was a need that was put in the main forum. And maybe we can even set, we meet every 5 years, so that now even do planning for money, finances. So I think that one I will do it towards the end, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. I think this was not to be doing a haphazard, but now, you know, by the time we reach 4, so now we are 36 years since we, is it 36? Yes. Yeah. So we are 36 years since we started. So maybe now we can even say that we know for sure by 40, tutakutana God willing, all those who are here. We will still be young. Somebody said that we are young, and we will still be there for 40 years. So even if now we are 60s, going down to 100, we have a long way. Still, we have about 40 years of interacting, and now we don't have children at home, except maybe the so-so, the grandchildren, and we have a lot of time on our sides. So I want to welcome you in a special way and feel the way you used to feel. Yeah. How are you feeling? 8 years. Yes. Feeling young again and catching up. So I want to conclude there, and we enjoy and maximize that. And the other thing that came up, somebody, I think Dr. Esther, was saying that we'll be coming with our better half. Where is our better half? We have one better half. Akwapi? Wanakuja. Yeah. So Oh, you have your better half. Your better half is our classmate.
She's a member in her own right.
Yeah, I think we can use that point. If you can convince them to yes, then we also tell them to have a day or so for break. Otherwise, I will not be with you to the end. There is some other issues which are really important to me, and I have to deal with them. Tomorrow I have a fundraiser in our church, and I'm the church chair. And the elder. Yesterday you were saying at the in our place we call them elders, and the church elder. The church chair is like the owner of that church. Because not the owner, but it's the person in charge. Because from there is the leverage, and leverage has many other congregations. So the person in charge of that particular congregation is the chair. And you have a main fundraiser tomorrow. So if there is anybody who have not given their 10%, congregation can pass it. So that tomorrow, you have my number. You can just send it. Yeah, and with the books in my account. Otherwise, when you Eric, I also want to thank those people who have really sponsored. We have special sponsors. We have 2 main sponsors. Do I mention them? No. They don't want to be mentioned. But there are people who have really sponsored for the other extra things. Yes. They don't, but wherever they are, let them realize that they have done quite something for us.
But if a sponsor wants to be mentioned, it's okay.
Yeah.
So those who are present.
We should be able to deal with that.
Oh, really?
What is it?
The sponsor.
If a sponsor wants to be mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know them, but we continue because they have some of them want to be known, and that's not good, but they are still there.
Yeah. Moshibi has been dealing with that, and the point is that people felt that if I'm doing this for police, so let him, when he talks, he will say a bit about they are police, so that's he can lead us to
For the sponsor, I think we should comment. But we have sponsors. We have 3 main sponsors. And I was commenting on our better half because you have 2 better halves. But there's a special better half. You have become more by ours. Yes. Well, Professor, we want to appreciate that you accepted to join this team. And we give you a number in the 8. We give you our numbers. I want to tell the people to remember their numbers.
Yes.
Remember mine was 18.1. That's 2. Abu is used to be 18.1.
Which you hold the same number. You hold the same number. The same number as the principal.
Mine was 15.
You are ahead of me. You are that one of them. Yes. The numbers that were given. Stroke 54. Stroke 1, stroke 6. Okay, that one is so. But if you can remember, yeah. Otherwise, God bless you. Keep on keeping on. Take care of yourself. Be young and happy. The secret is to be happy. And as we were talking yesterday, that even if you went to rest and you did not want to, finally you found yourself a need somewhere, and you still call yourself a veterinarian. Asante sana. God bless you.
Thank you, our chair. Thank you, our chair and the committee, even for the privilege of running the program today. Lucy, if you have forgotten, not Karusi. Legend gracefully. As I thank God. I was saved that time, I am still saved. I love the Lord. A lot. The Lord. because he's everything to me. So we are a bit behind the program, but I know we shall manage time because we are here to at least ensure that we've done well according to the program. And our coordinator, Mr. Dr. Mushibi, you will talk when you come to present so that we save time. Are we not good? Yes. But just as I demystify vile tulilala nini, tuliambiwa mtu asiulize ulilala aje, unauliza uliamka aje. Sikuwa uliza mwenzako uliamka aje. Msalimie sasa kwa mkono. Mpigie hali. Msasa mako sawa. How is the weather? How did you sleep? Wake up. Not how did you sleep. Some of us sleep with their legs lifted up, others on the side, others upside down, others in their stomach. When you wake up, you find yourself here. So how did you wake up? And I'm surprised nobody has asked me. So you assumed I woke up well. Thank you very much. So we shall go the program for today. No program. Now we are in the program. The first, we have a morning walk. We have two groups, the bigger one and the by one. The by one you do the shortcut. That's a national service. So, today you get them back the airstrip. Yes, tunaenda mpaka airstrip ndio tuliongozwa na Cheria Esther na Joe. Hao wengine wamezunguka tu hapa like the Israelites. We are processed na nyuki. Because tulienda mpaka airstrip. So tomorrow we go there. Madam Alice. Yeah. Please kindly Alice come and lead us in that program of remembering our friends. Yeah, you are the one who has been, I'm a delegator. And I'm the master of ceremonies. Karibu sana.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
I don't think anyone of us can remember everything. Yes. So I think the highlights will be there, then it's up to us to be
Yes.
So Alice, I will help you by projecting stuff.
Okay.
This study will be mentioning the names. Where we have a picture, we'll share a picture. And then I think at the end of it,
yeah, that is okay. So for me, again, good morning. Good morning, yes. In the evening, I did a locum. I didn't sleep when it was very cold. Okay. So, Eunice, we used to call her privilege. Yes. We are allowed to do the statements also. Yeah, what is she? And can somebody take these notes so that we will not have to. Yes. No. I think it's either 2019. Because I had just moved to yes, and she was working in Ghana. And I moved there. I was transferred 2018 December. Yes. And I found her. And I remember we had a party and she came from that party. Okay, from Ghana. So she must be. Who was her roommate?
It's Esther. It was sometime. I think it was actually 23 April because I missed her bag. I visited her in hospital and I was going for a short course in India. And she passed on just like 3 days before I left. So I could not be behind to attend her bag. That's why I'm saying it was 2018. The time has really got.
Yes. So they want to bless us. Let's have the next one.
Joke your minds if you can recognize people.
Oh, who was this?
That was on a Greek.
Oh, that was on a Greek, eh?
So
we have the Maina.
That's not how.
Yeah, those are not our classmates.
No, there's another.
Then he has you. Then you are Christian, so give me your
So this is
for a mission, is that?
these two were ours. Eh?
Yes.
Sorry. It's okay. Next.
Yeah, they are.
Who dedicated?
Okay, let's.
Yeah, that was the Wababa.
Last year.
No. You are not to be included in the picture. This was a.
No, that's Siamba. Because of tickets, no?
Yeah, that's okay. It's good to see the picture. Yes. So what should the Kiketi person do?
Let's go on the dates. Let's not mind about the time.
You might not remember the date.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, God rest his soul. One man guitar. Yes. But it is not about technical. It is actually before COVID. It was after.
No.
It was before. It was before COVID. Who was before? Eunice.
After it's
Eunice.
Eunice was Eunice, then
Eunice.
check.
Yes. Okay. After COVID, actually. See where it is now. Yeah. So this was Siamba. This is Nebo. Yeah. That is the Washira.
No.
Who was this? Gamiji went. No. Is Gamiji there? No.
He's gone.
Gamiji is gone.
Somebody said he's gone.
We discussed Ganiji this morning, and some of us feel that he had gone.
I think he went to the medical.
He might still be around.
He's gone, but not there.
He's going to live forever.
So this is Wanjohi.
Yeah.
And this is
The person who can update us on Wanjohi is Dr. Ngini.
Yes.
Is Wanjohi still with us?
James, eh? Yeah, he was my classmate in Edinburgh. For a
Oh.
master's program.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
so. This. Did you know what your pet name was in college?
No, I didn't.
We will tell you tonight. So,
Members, let me refresh. I think this photo was taken when we went to Kabete. Remember, after restricting Kabete, a few of you.
Yeah, there is.
That was that
This is Jerome.
This is Jerome.
This is Jerome.
That is
Not in Europe.
Yeah.
can you remember?
The ladies will climb up there.
I'm asking again, Alice, how come the only boys there? They can chase away.
Order, please. Order. Yes. Order. So basically, one kid is not with us.
Yes.
But is yes.
We also have the other one, Saddam Hussein.
Yeah, so we got this one.
To the past.
Who is this?
Munga. Karongo Munga. Now, please go back. That guy we can see up to the shoulders.
This one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who was that?
That was
That was Kibuki. That was Kibuki.
It was who?
Oh.
James Kibuki.
So where is
He's not.
He died. He was a victim of a shooting in Eldoret. Yeah.
What about your roommates?
Yes, he's the one that left us. And the Orito. Yes. Yeah. Orito was the first one to give us.
Odhiambo was the
Odhiambo was the first.
No.
Where?
Okay, so here we have Orito went up. We have Odhiambo.
Yes. Became the first one to leave us was Odhiambo.
It was Odhiambo. Yes.
The second year also.
The one in red?
Yes.
This one. This one. The one right bottom. Yes, that's the one that's here.
And the other one is the red one.
Not recorded.
Which one? You're getting excited.
No, this one was there.
So we have the Odhiambo and the yeah.
Okay.
So
Yaola
who
song.
was this? Yaola.
Oh, Yaola.
Yaola left us.
Yaola.
Is it there?
Yeah, exactly.
Where is that?
So Yaola.
Yaola.
Who was this?
Yaola.
Washira Oji. Washira Oji is in
Wamuru.
What's my name?
Jeru.
Jeru.
Wanganga. Morai.
Hey.
Who is this?
Munga.
Yeah.
Munga.
And then one. Yes. So we go to this one. Omega. So Gasheko has left us.
The roommates here.
Hiyo ni clip. Kita. With his chicken.
This was not bad. So
No, you were in a meeting.
we were in a meeting.
That looks like chicken.
Here, it was not a discover.
We were in a meeting where we were looking at telemedicine.
Yeah, because you're already grown up.
Yeah, so Kita is the one who left as a second last year. Yes. Yeah. So here we have
It's not like 7 years ago.
I can see myself there.
here.
Can you zoom those ones?
No, not that one.
In the middle. Yes,
There, that's
Yes.
and the other one is what?
This is Mary.
That was the Kalusi. Here today we have this.
Yeah, I think that's so here, maybe I just highlight.
Can you are looking for
Yeah, I'm there. Carol is there.
That was cute. That's so yes. So this one. So he's here and he worked with us. The picture, some of them are not here, so the ones which are not here will just go past.
Ah, ladies,
So here we have our lecture.
That's June.
Myself.
and Mori.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's what
Where's Moriwe?
You are hiding behind the others.
I know.
That was
Let's be quiet so that we are also able to move fast.
Yes. Who was this?
No, that's not one.
No, he's there. Check him.
That's not one. That is Chege Mutua.
In an accident. Yes.
And you will check the record that, eh?
He did. I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. Continue. Yeah.
No,
that's I was setting the train.
So this one was first year.
Oh yeah, Helen.
Rosemary.
Okay, so here.
Can we know the other, the previous one, the other two, the first two in white beside?
Here.
Yes.
Oh, this is the
Yoko and the next one.
Yoko is still there.
Yes.
Are you
Still there.
okay.
Yes. And then
No, what about that photo? This one. This one is that. Who is that?
Maria.
That's Maria. Oh my God.
Maria.
He's also the investigation.
Oh yes.
Mike, do I see you anywhere?
That's what I want to do. That's me.
Let's have some other please. I'll just quickly go through. So this is Peter, Mushibi, Gashenko, Kali, Omega, Esther, and yes.
I remember all those jerseys.
The dresses. The dresses.
The jersey, I remember the
I know maybe I'm not
Is this Jagi?
and guitar.
And who was this?
No, it's not that.
He's here.
Successful.
We have run up here.
So yeah,
Lucy.
where was that?
That looks like somewhere in the. No.
Oh, it was very
Oh, okay.
So Gashenko, we used to call Gashenko Cobra. And then which came from, I think, their yes. Okay.
Steve Mugende.
Yes.
You know he was there?
The kissing team.
So that is Mary. Yeah, this is Mary. How is this?
Florence.
Mondodi.
This is Akai.
Mondodi.
Florence is that This is Sherry again. Mary, Esther. Who is this?
This is now Lomo.
This is Morai.
This is Morai. Okay, Peter. Who is this?
This was the fourth time. That's the daily.
Yes.
Oh, but why was Nelson there?
Yeah.
Yes. Tulienda naye the whole first year.
So this was a long time.
Alice,
Kimone.
your time is
So, my time is finished. And also the teachers are finished. So, can we be all standing?
before we are starting, we confirm the total list.
Or we left somebody?
Mimi niko na 16, wewe kuna ngara 16.
For the Catholics, there's a prayer we always say for them.
You can read
I can say it.
Yes.
Eternal, grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. May they rest in peace. Amen.
That list was put together thanks to Helen, managing to fish these pictures all over the place. Looks like when you want any picture, look for Helen.
Why I didn't see myself.
No, actually,
Me too.
we were trying to find pictures of according we love.
Yes.
So that was
Okay, yes.
According to the names posted in our WhatsApp,
Yes.
number 16 is repeated, so there should be 17 also who is not there. Check the list. The list reads 16 Dr. James Kabugi and 16 again Dr. Manto. So the total is 17. So can we get clear who is not there? Check from the WhatsApp.
And
So then Miguel is the list you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it in Jora or the surrounding?
Thank you. So we get my some be organized. No, when you are classmates, you be organized. So what? 3 tutapiga 1, 2, 3 na ya mbuge. Na mbuge inakuwa gani? Naona. So Madam Maris, we are starting with clap for you. 1, 2, 3. Again. Tosha. Thank you, Madam Maris. You have done a good job. Now, I didn't see Koriwe, I didn't see Manirakisa, I didn't see Joyce, so Madam Helen.
No,
Prof.
we have their pictures. It's just that I just focused on people we lost.
Okay.
That was the whole idea. Yeah. So
That's the next one you see the ones who are still with us. The general
yes.
pictures.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can even share. We have a slideshow with everyone, so I
Yes.
can share that with them. Yeah.
That's okay, but today remember there's a photo session, don't miss.
So through the
Send
chair,
the kupika popcorn.
through the chair, yes, you see, can we agree that we make Helen our official custodian of pictures? So if there is something you want, we post it to her. And then to be
Proposed by Madam Ares, as many as have the opinion say yes. Contrary opinion. Okay, have been corrected by those who make noise in parliament. So proposed by Madam Ares, seconded. And are you seconding or your contrary opinion?
No. No, there are people I want you to remind me. Kulikuwa na Maina Kipara. No, class. He repeated. They joined us.
Pamoja na Jennifer.
And they were
And there was
mwingine
Kian is the name.
Na Jomo. Jomo.
Let's add on the list.
yes.
Yeah. We big people. Yes, pastor.
What about Jomo? He started because I talked to him last week. So he was our class. He's in Naivasha. So let us adopt, there is a proposal was suggested that we make Helen Romy our official custodian of all our photos and videos. Proposed by Madam Maris, seconded. Ukiongea when I'm talking. Despite the fact that you are the one who has proposed me, utadance. Proposal, second. It will be a gender insensitive motion because she's the custodian, is a proposer, and she's second. Let us be balanced.
We have, we had also, yes, then we
I was corrected.
No, but they are not seconding.
Okay, pass to 20 na maybe. Maybe I seconded. So we have agreed with that. Eh?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Official curator.
The ayes have it. Now we go very fast to now the professional talk, and I will request Dr. Mishipi akisimama uongee talk medical insurance ni nani? Oh, sawa. Medical insurance, financial management, matrimonial property, retirement. Why not the patrimonial? Why you need to write a will? So that's where we are with Joyce. How many minutes do you need? I'm saving time. And if you don't save time, I will bring the MC.
Give me the time.
20?
20.
Yeah, let her manage that and then ask for more.
20 is for everything.
Welcome to Mchapia Makofi ya
Insurance broker.
We have already taken 1 hour in this session. So we only need 2 hours. You don't need to do all the time.
Yeah, we have enough, yeah.
I don't even need all the time.
You need more time for interaction.
Yeah,
I'll brainstorm, then you can ask the questions.
Asante sana.
Yes.
So I stand here not as an expert on all these things, but as one of your colleagues, and so this is going to be an interactive session, so we'll discuss, and then I'll just maybe give a few points, and then we can also share. I see it is a session of kuchanuana, yeah, so where we help each other. I saw there were a few issues yesterday, or maybe we feel uncomfortable about it, but I guess it is something we have to be comfortable with, because that's just life. Yeah, so if you are comfortable with the celebration, also you are comfortable with celebrating so many other things. All these are celebrations. And partly, maybe why it is important for me, because when I was thinking, what do I say? It is very difficult. You know, it is easier to talk to those young ones who are telling, when you grow up, make sure you don't do what I did. But then when we are here, it's a bit different, but I think also there is a lot of knowledge and a lot of things that we know that we can also help each other and share, because we all have different challenges. So I actually got the notes from my daughter.
Class notes.
Not class. She paid to go to a session to learn about financial planning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she has the notes. We are asking, where do I get anything? Because you can also get very generic things. But I just maybe put across a few points for us to consider, and then from there we can just have a conversation. Yeah. So don't see me as an expert. I'm not an expert. I'm a financial expert. But maybe in another life, I would have been actually a finance expert. I love numbers. I love numbers, so I would have done.
Money.
I also love money. Okay, so I'm going to start with the estate planning, and not the other way around. Yeah. So maybe when you think about estate planning, I think we all want to kind of leave something back, and feel like we worked so hard for so many years, and when you work so hard for many years, there's something also you want to give back to your people, because it's not just for us, for ourselves that we are working. When you think about how much money you earn every month, how much really goes to you? Like somebody was doing an estimate, maybe less than 30%. The rest goes to other people. Yeah, so very little really could go to us. So that means that even when whatever we are doing is not necessarily for ourselves, it's really for others, whether they are family or their friends or whatever it is, or a particular cause. We actually do this for other people. So it is important that also we decide, when you're not there, where do all these resources go to? Who do they go to? Are they going to benefit the ones we intended them to benefit? Or are they going to benefit others? And I think we've seen on the news all the things that are happening when people pass on. And it is important to learn from those who have departed before us, so that we organize our house before them. And when we talk about estate planning, also we have to think about
Now we are okay. And maybe if I give an example of my mother-in-law, she's the administrator of the property from my father-in-law. But right now she has dementia. She can't take any decision. So there's a point where we reach and we can't take decisions. We need to also see who can take a decision on our behalf. Whether it is medical decisions or other decisions that we would have liked somebody to take. Who is this that can take those decisions? That's all part of the planning. So it's not just the resources, but you need somebody who can do the planning on your behalf. Whether it is your own child, or whether it's going to be somebody else, whether it's going to use a lawyer. But really think about there's a time that will come when we won't have the same strength that we have, and we need someone to take a decision on whether we pull off the life machine, or do we keep them on the life support for how long. There's some things we can decide. Yeah, do we want to be cremated? What do we want? Because these are also big debates that come up. Yes. So it is important to think about it and also maybe to guide. I've worked with colleagues like in Ghana. Everybody plans for their last days, and they need enough resources for that because it is quite expensive. And if you don't leave resources, at times people have been staying even in the mortuary for a year until they organize themselves enough to get them off. So everybody feels the responsibility to also plan so that they know that at least I've organized myself, I'm not going to leave a burden to the people I'm leaving behind. Yeah, so then when you talk about, so we can either leave a will behind, or you can also die intestate without a will. So when you die intestate, then it means you don't take the decision on where your money goes. That becomes a different issue. And then of course the court decides, and other people come in and they decide. So it's really up to us to see then should we. And I know it's not an easy conversation. I think it's not only for some people but for all of us to think about. It's not very African to think about some of these things. But I think also many things have gone beyond being African. So we know, we've seen so many other things that have happened. So maybe it is important that also we document a few things and we leave a few things in order for our children and for our surviving spouses. So generally your spouses and children will be entitled. But we know that beyond, I think for many of us, and many for us Africans, and I've talked to many people, you'll find in one home there is that one person who takes care of everybody else. And that one person could be us. Yes. So if your mother is not feeling well, it is you they come to. So there is that one person that does everything. And everybody looks up to you. So you can imagine then they are all waiting to see if you die, what are you leaving behind? They're also waiting for it. Yeah, because they're independent. Yeah, and I experienced this because I worked very closely with Orito. We were working together in the NGO. Yeah. And his entire family was depending on him. When I saw the tears I saw, were not just the tears that he cried, but the tears of what are we going to do? Yeah, what are we going to do? Yeah, he had a first wife and a child, and then he had a second wife, and his family really, really suffered. Because I've been working with them, and I know they really, really suffered. Because there are some things, they were depending on him 100%. So how do we deal with these kind of things? Because they are there, and we are African, and we know that we're not just our nuclear family, we have other people, even our own parents who are depending on us. How do we plan for this so that we don't let people grieve even far more than they should grieve? Yeah, because at times the grief you see, I came to learn that when I see tears, the tears are telling a story. Yeah, and everybody's story is different. Yeah, so what have they lost is different. Yeah, so let's think about that we are not just us, that we have a responsibility for many other people. So there are many other legal things, and I don't want to go into that. But then what I see that there, when you can have an oral will, or you can have also a written will, but then it requires to have witnesses. And then the other question, who knows that you have a will? If I can have it and keep it with Esther, and Esther knows, but nobody else knows, or somebody else knows. So also being able to communicate that people even know that there's something, because at times they don't know. And then also making sure that there are things that can be in a will, and then there are others which don't have to be in a will. Like for example, maybe for your pension or for others, there are some benefits which doesn't matter what the will says. They'll still be decided when you have joint ownership of a property or other things. Whether you put it in a will or not, that is already determined. But then there are others which then have to be accompanied by a will. So these are things that we also have to make sure that we start to understand how to manage that. Yeah, so I don't want to go very deep, and then there are all issues about customary law and the need to put up papers in order. I remember like 3 weeks ago, we lost a colleague in the office, and he just came back to the office. He was coming from mission, and then he went to the hospital and died. And he had 5 children. And then everybody now was being told, can you put your papers in order? You know, when you're employed, we write everybody's name, we write our mothers and fathers. And then we forget to change. Yeah, next of kin, we forget to change. Yeah, or some people have had a second marriage or something. We forget to change that now we have another person. So it's always good to go back to those papers, revise them. Even if you have a will, you can always change because you get maybe new children, you get a new family, just to make sure that everything is covered. And then the customary law is also another whole issue. So that one maybe just something I've just put together just for us to reflect and think through. And then now, maybe the other piece I also wanted to talk about was personal finances. I'm not a finance expert, but I think I've been doing a lot of reading on finances because I like finance and I like to think about how money can grow. And I think the big thing also for us is, are we going to have enough money to cover us for our retirement? You know, before we used to say that we're depending on our children to take care of us. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Yeah. It's not happening. Yes, our generation, we can't do that. Yeah, and we know, anybody who has a child here, we know that they are waiting for us to support them, and not the other way around. Yes, so it means that we have to plan and also to be selfish. And it's okay to be selfish. If you feel like taking a trip and going and just enjoying yourself, take it. It's your money, you earned it. Yeah. So that you share something here. But then you need to plan for it. What are your financial goals? And then the other thing to know is that we never know how long we live. I was seeing the other day on TV, someone was celebrating his 102 birthday. So if it is 102 and now you're 60, that's another 40-something years.
That's too much.
That's too much. That is another lifetime. And we can be blessed because we are healthy. So we might live for very long. Yeah. Sure. So that's another lifetime. So 40 years, what's going to keep you for 40 years? Yeah. And then let's also remember, and then maybe that's something I've learned also with the inflation we saw like recently, that they say every 20 years, the inflation doubles. So if every 20 years the inflation is doubling, remember, like, I think I was telling, I don't know who I was talking to, and I was saying, when we applied, remember our salary was 4,000. 4740. So people who retired at that time, you can imagine their pension maybe was maybe 10,000. So that 10,000 now can't buy anything. So you thought you had a lot of money, then you realize it's not enough. The insurance has gone up, everything has gone up. So let's figure out that, let's know that we might live long, and also inflation is chasing us. So what do we do so that our money does not depreciate as we go? I think we all see that, like, the dollar was 160 and then it has come up, but you know it's a cycle. Yeah, it's a cycle. So that's something to consider. Then the other thing also, another mistake people make is that we underestimate what would be our needs when we retire. So we think that I'll be fine or what, but then when you do the budget, there's some things you don't think about. Because when you have a salary coming in, it's very easy to plan. And I think it's beyond just the salary, because not everybody is on a salary. There are others who are having other means. But there's a point where you cannot have active income. So you require passive income. And when I talk about income, it really has to be liquid. Because I think many of us also have property. I saw that with our parents. They had lots of land. But then when they really needed money, they didn't have anything. Yeah, so we need to keep some of that money liquid in a way that we can get it when we need it. And not tie it all in bricks and land, particularly land. I think many people have a lot of land. Their money in land. Yes. Yeah, so let's also make sure that we diversify our portfolio and also maybe see how the risk we can take, but also how can we start having passive income that you can actually sleep and then your sleeping money is just coming in. You wake up in the morning, you have a few more dollars in the account. Yeah, so that passive income. But I think we have to plan for it. Yeah. And one thing I've also realized is that we don't recognize how much we have. If you worked for 30 years, 40 years, you have accumulated a wealth of knowledge. How can we also monetize some of this knowledge? Yeah, because you're living in a knowledge economy. We can monetize this. And this can also give us, like you can, if you write a book, for example, people will be buying that book whether you're thinking about it or not. So that's going to be income. If you do different types of products, there are different types of products you can do. Or you can have something that is not tiring you, but I think at this age, they say it's the most productive that you can ever be. Yeah, it's the most productive. Because now you're more confident, you know what you know what you want. So let's take advantage of that and use that also, like, not for giving, and also at the same time also it can give you, even as you give it when the pastor asks for something after they are finished preaching. So it's okay that also you get something back that can also, because you cannot run without fuel. So you also need fuel. And I know at times when you think about like I'm asking for money, it's like, how can you ask for money? It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's an enterprise, and also, I mean, you also getting back something out of your life. Then I just finished with maybe a few L's in retirement, and one of the things is how much income do I need, and where will it come from? You can need, but where is it going to come from? So figure that out. Then the other one is how much money do I need to have set aside, and where will I keep it? Under the pillow or whatever, or I'm not going to keep it somewhere where it is growing and is beating inflation. What do I do with that money? Then the other one is about longevity. How do I make sure my money lasts as long as I do? Yeah, we don't know how long it lasts, and that's a secret, nobody knows. But how can we make sure it lasts as long as we do? Because we always assume our kids, by the time we might even live longer than them. Yeah, then there's that long-term care, when we really can't manage ourselves. How will I protect myself from the impact of potential long-term care costs? And if you talk to Mulau, we should tell you, because in the US it's a big deal. But then here we have more social. But I think we are seeing more and more that we have to hire a nurse, we have to do what. You need more specialized care even when you're home. Yeah, and then the other one, your legacy. What do I want to leave behind and to who? Yeah. And then finally, whether you have an updated will, trust, and maybe even a medical directive on who takes care of what. Yeah, so I didn't talk much about medical insurance, but I think that is really something that we all know that we may need as we grow older. So that was just maybe to whet our appetite, and then maybe I can just open for people to share and also share their experiences, because we all have these experiences, and we're advising our children, we're advising other people. What would we advise ourselves? Yeah, and also just share with your own experiences. Good.
So clap for you first. Organized for this elegant ladies. Yes. So, because she has taught you very many things, Madam Alice was reminding us, she has taught very many things. So three. Let's go to make it easier. So 1, 2, 3. 3 times. Yes, you smile. You know everything you do, you must smile. Other kama mheshimiwa sema you should not be reminded of our age. If you don't smile, you look older. At your age. So don't usikae mgumu sana. So then don't be too serious and too annoying as you do things. Exactly. Even when the economy is hard, smile at it. You are 60 now, oppressed. Why should you be annoyed of the economy?
No.
You are a place to live and you have children. And you have everything, the cows and all of us. So let us smile as we clap for Madam Joyce. 1, 2, go. Again. Great. Thank you. So now open for discussion. Yes. If you could go the first round of 10 minutes, we will see how it is going. We shall, Mheshimiwa, wacha tupatie Helen, then Mheshimiwa, then we give the first round. Mwikali. Thank you.
Thank you, Joy and Joyce. I think that was great. I just wanted to share my opinion about
stand up against the
okay. About certain things. One, I was going to say, if you don't have a financial planner, find someone that you can talk to about your finances. Because we think we know. You know, we think we understand. But just talking to someone else, they will give an opinion, look at what you have, look at the lands, pieces of lands that you have and properties, and help you plan it out. It really helps. You know, because we are veterinarians, we think like vets, you know, we are not financial people. So if you don't have that, find a financial planner. They're not usually very expensive. If your children are, get one of the children to help you look at what you have. 2, one thing about Kenyans, I think, that I've realized now that I live somewhere else. Kenyans amass so much land that they don't need. At this stage, please, if you have all that property, start selling it off because you need liquid cash. Sell some of those things off so that you can have liquid funds when you have an emergency to go to the hospital, when you have something. No, please,
to enjoy
don't
when
keep,
you're still alive.
Don't keep a piece of land there, a piece of land there, a piece of land there. Oh, I've bought so much land. You invested for a rainy day. The rainy day is here. Put those things aside, sell it off, put that liquid cash somewhere that you can be able to access anytime. Yeah. And then the third thing is the wills are available online. Everyone thinks, oh, it's such a big deal making a will. You can actually go online, download papers, do your will, and then write it and then have someone sign it. It's not a bad thing. It's good. I travel a lot. And sometimes I think, will my flight crash? Will I be able? So one of the things I've done, like I have a will that I wrote more than 10 years ago, and everyone in my family knows I have a will. They know I want to be cremated. I don't even want to be buried because I don't want to put the burden on them. Who cares? I'm dead, I'm gone, my soul is gone. To heaven, I'll be with Jesus. So, but then the other thing that I do that I find really nice, I have a signed checkbook in my house. I leave signed checks. I have a folder and it has signed checks in it. My husband knows, my children know. If anything happened to me today, they can go to the bank today and get money while they're processing other things. So I make sure, I trust them. I mean, if I'm not there, what am I going to need the money for anyway? You know, and I trust them. So I make sure that they know where my things are. They know my passwords to everything. Some of us, even our wives or husbands, do not know our passwords. Please. If anything happens to you, what I was telling, I think, I don't know,
was telling that I used to work in Southern Sudan, and I had a colleague, and we were flying together, and one time our flight failed to take off. We were going and we were going, and we were just going to crash into the cliff. And somehow, you know, it managed. And he said, you know, if I die today, my wife has no clue where any of my accounts are. We discussed that. Can you imagine? So please, don't, this person that you live with, that you love, that you take care of, that will take care of you, passwords, things like that, share that information. We are at an age where things should not be secret anymore, because anything can happen anytime. Okay, that's one.
Kamoja tu? Yes. Because yako ni kuchangia. Mheshimiwa. Kamoja moja so that we have many of us as possible.
Thank you very much. Before nichangie ni comment hiyo ya Dr. Helen, that can also be very dangerous. If you have careless children, who are waiting, wanataka hiyo pesa, they will even organize for your death. The checks are signed. The checks are signed. So that can, I can tell you where you are, it's okay. But with us here, don't be there, remember?
Hey, opposition, point of order.
That is a personal opinion. You have different opinions. You can gain from personal opinions.
Yes.
I lost my father 5 years ago. That is 2019, and I want to thank you, you stood by me. When I lost my father was a polygamist. We are 7 boys in hoods, and then we have 8 ladies from both families. My father had written a will. Sometimes I want to say I appreciate the will, but it can also be problematic. Yeah. So where I come from, Kirinyaga County, come from the tea growing zone. It's a circle called Bvm Circle. My late father was the treasurer, so he had accumulated very many shares. So when we buried him, later on we sat down and went to see his will. When we opened the will, we were all in a shock. Because he had 3 million shares. The 3 million shares was, he had shared it to 3 sons. And we were selling. So some of us who went to the bank, me and our oldest brother from both sides, the 3 of us were doing. We said we can't honor this will. This one will bring more problems to our family and solving our problem. In fact, we tore it up. We set it up. We say we are total 15. These are 3 million worth. Everybody 200,000. We thought that was the fairness. It doesn't matter at what mood my father wrote that way. Because he would have quarreled with somebody. So, matters, I would say, wills are good. They are good. They can solve problems. Majority do. But majority bring more problems than solving the problem. So we have also to think and balance up everything. Sometimes you are writing that will may cause more harm than if you did it. And after all, when I die, it's none of my business. I'm gone. Then those who are living decide for me. After all, they are the ones who are living. How do you control this world when you are in another one? You make it in this world, you have left it.
You don't take it.
Leave it. If they decide you want to be criminated, if they decide to throw you in the sea, so they are the ones who make it. You saw the other day when we lost President Kibaki, or even Moi, they were put on a table. We were passing through their scene. Our president, amewekwa pale kwa meza, tunapitia mtu kimona all of us. Some of us may not like even seeing cops. So, me I think, I mean, how I handle mine, how Helen handles her, how Mbai handles his, I mean, it's totally different. We can learn from the others. But let's know, okay, these are all policies, but see which one fits for you. Goes. Thank you.
Tabia moja ya mheshimiwa. Thank you. Before you react, I think we are all adults and we respect every opinion. And don't carry things here which will be more of a problem to your home. Just filter them, but also don't refuse to move without carrying something to add to your good thing.
You customize.
Thank you, mheshimiwa.
No, I wanted to say that maybe I think the whole idea, like at times also we are waiting until the last day before you can even share what's in us. Yeah, so that can also be something that, and we see maybe they depend with our parents at times, they hold on to everything. Then people now, we are almost 60, we are 70, we are still waiting. So if some of these things can be done in advance, you know, like you already take away the pressure from us. Yeah, that could be another way that also we can look at it.
Thank you. Mwekari?
Okay, so members, as we age, one of the things I fear is one day you wake up and you won't remember a thing. Can't remember a thing. So I personally believe that planning is very important. And when you plan, that's the way you use us. So just thank you for that highlight. I think that is all we wanted to hear. The rest, of course, we have heard from here and here. So for me, planning is a must. And for what I think is, even at your own front, or what I'm thinking, is that first of all, I list what I have. Or we list what we have. We haven't listed together. But list what you have, perhaps an account somewhere. At least let's have a list. And as you do that, the will part is not African, but we are going to do it because now we don't want to lose all that trouble that comes. The Kirima story we always see people fighting. They are 50 years, 60, and they are fighting over others. So I believe in less planning in a way that at least even if you are not shared with them, when you open a file, they can say, oh, mom has an account in TCB, you know, that kind of thing. You've learned somewhere, but also planning in terms of if anything happens, who now takes care. And I think that basic bit, it will give us that courage to take the next mile of now right away. And as Ellen is saying, just go online and you just, the will is just about what you are, who takes care of what. Okay, you may not have a lot of money or property, but at least say, when I'm gone, share equally. Whatever it is.
Percentage. Yes. To grab for Megari. Now, I need because we need to get, we have about 10 more minutes. We should be don't worry. So, you don't worry, otherwise you will worry. If professional driver, so I take 3 more at 1 minute. You know, I have realized most of you first are very talkative. They are either politicians or preachers. So I will go start to minimize to 1 minute, otherwise I will start up. So I will start with our chair, 1 minute, please. Then Mugasha, are you Chaga or Mugasha? Marosa. 1 minute, 1 minute, please. Where we go? 1 minute, and then we'll be through with that topic for now. But we can openly discuss in groups. But personally, I'm very happy that we are opening up and we are being candid. Still, 1 minute, please. I'm the timekeeper.
Yeah, with that 1 minute, I just want to say that it is very ideal. Thanks so much for what you have said. I want to quote my family. My father died 30 years ago. He had not written a will, but he had said in a way that today my mother is still there. She earns from whatever my father had, not even construction, but he was an accountant, an audit firm. My mother is she has an account there. She's a director, so she earns about 20,000 every month. And from pension of my father, he also earns about 5,000. So in total, you can see that very woman, she's still very happy. And he had enough money. My father, when my brother wanted to go for further studies, was able to get money from his account. And he was saying, hey, so you can do things even when you are dead. Because he was saying, see, my father is still paying school fees. So from there, I learned a lot from there. Then the second thing is that my mother has already divided whatever she has. Like me, I know what I got from her. She's 80, but she gave me 10 years ago. So we have all inherited something. And then I also want to talk about when COVID came, you know that we were scared of that. Yes. To me, it really scared me because I even wrote everything, including my PIN numbers. They were somewhere and I was telling somebody, if you go to my diary, you will get something. And actually I was seeing a situation where my people, and he's saying you don't care, but I was seeing my people, I have money in the account, and they can't even get money to bury me. Yes. So I think it is good we have somebody at least knows. Even if you, for me with my husband, I gave him the number, and surprisingly he went to one of the banks and it refused to give him money. Yeah, I think they were taking the photos. Because I went to the same, there are some which are that serious. So those are two things. Don't fear, because as we are saying, death is with us anytime. So I think we write will, and we also want to continue. The legacy, you talked about the legacy. That is part of the legacy. You want to leave a legacy. Yeah.
You're gonna dance.
So I think that legacy is very good for us. The other thing about the insurance, there's also the group insurance. I was wondering, do we take individual? Can we form a group insurance? It's not normally very cheaper. If we can take it as a group. I don't know whether we can do that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Florence, mpigie makofi. Come to chair there, 1 minute.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm starting to talk as I stand to say one thing. Thank you very much, Luis, for that presentation. Now, I want to look at the issue of when somebody has died. We are all scientists. We are all medical scientists. What really is the body? The body is simply a medical waste. Sorry about that, but that is what it is, and you dispose of it, isn't it? So we should not concentrate so much on what will happen to me when I die and all that. We should be, in my view, this is my opinion, we should be concentrating on what am I doing for myself now, what am I doing for my people, what will I legacy am I leaving? As we do that, the issue of disposal of your remains will be automatic. Of course, there is that decision of how you want it done. You can say cremation, whatever. But again, as somebody said here, it all depends on the people who will be making decisions. You will not be in a position to make the decision that way. So I wouldn't care. If they decide to put me in a bed, that's fine. If they decide to give me to the government, that is fine. That is my opinion. But I want to make sure that the people I have with me, my children, and other people I care about, and the nation at large, I have done what I need to do. A will is important. When I joined the UN, biggest problem was sitting down to write a will before you can go for induction. You don't write the will, there is no induction. My first manifestation was Iraq. And that is where I saw dying is something very easy. She's calling me one time, the visa is falling, and I'm saying, oh, we are very fine, and I'm sounding very nice. If she knew where I was, she would just tell me, get the hell out of there. So, it is important that we don't get carried away, like the people who don't understand the science, and we know that once you're out of this body, your breath is out, that is medical waste. Finally, parents, the way for me I look at it, or we look at it with the is, bring in your children into your life when, right from as early age as possible. Right now you don't have, but you never know. When you go back to that, bring them very close, and let them understand what we do. Our children, none is a vet, but we all give them attachment in our facility. What we do, and if we are not there, you can continue this thing. All you need, go to KBB, present a doctor, blah, 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 and continue with the business. It's a business like any other. So once you have done that, then you know they can take care of it. And I conclude with my dad. When my dad was on his deathbed, he told me, I'm not writing a will. You are responsible for the rest. I'm the eldest son, not the eldest child. So he said, be a good person. I've trained you to be a good person. Take care of them. If you want to be alive, and that is it. So Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We will speak much right.
Yes.
But let us also, first of all, not disclose so much. Helen, here in Kenya, you can find yourself dispatched and dispatched in order to be inherited.
Sawa, tumchapie makofi. Yes, thank you very much, Mary. From Mary, Boriwa, then finally, Esther.
I'm trying.
I know you are taking a lot of my time. 1 minute, you are my
No,
dog.
I'm really grateful, Joyce. This is really something. And for me, this, I have thought about this for the last 10 years, like, because it's just been crazy. My father-in-law didn't leave a will, but he verbally spoke to people. And he would say this, and he would say this, so we all have different testimonies of his will. Unfortunately, he died intestate, and we have actually been in court for the last 10 years. And unfortunately for my husband, he came back with his package from the States, because all my father-in-law's children were out there. And he came back with his package and invested in a property that was still in my father-in-law's. And that is what was quickly sold by his sisters. He invested in 2 properties. The first one was to be inherited by our son, because our son is the only grandson who is named after him. That was the first property that was sold. And that was our retirement package. So can you imagine the shock? That you're hearing the retirement package is being bulldozed down. You didn't even have no clue it was being sold. And you're like, ah. Anyway, my father spoke, but he also said, all of you are equal. So put all my property into a company and build it. So that's what we're doing with my father. So now I am at this age, I am saying, Lord, give me my mountain again, give us our mountain again, because we have to restart. We have to reinvest. So what we are doing with our children now, we are saying, issues of building, we have a son who's done interior design. So we are schooling him into, please pick this up as we pick it up. Then there's farming, and we say the girls, there's some the daughter that we posted on the page, she's doing environment studies. So she has shown an interest in farming. So we are saying, as we grow farming now, please pick this up. Then we have another one who's like an admin of the whole family. So again, she's picking up that admin challenge. So for us, it's been very humbling that now you're like beginning again with your children. And I want to finish with something that was also a great challenge for me. And what I saw was my in-laws' challenge, that inheritance is not just physical. There's spiritual inheritance, what are you leaving for your children? There's physical inheritance, what are you leaving for your children? Your mind, what she was talking about, writing and earning from what is on your mind, that's an inheritance. That's also an inheritance. So think of inheritance across all the dimensions. But also think emotionally. What are you living? Are you an angry person? Are you a happy person? What are your children inheriting? So actually the challenge has been like reinventing yourself and making yourself able to leave an inheritance for your children's children. Yeah, I think I want to finish with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We clap for her. Don't comment yet. Corina, a minute, because I know it's half a minute.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. I think I should just say I'm learning a lot. That's what I want to really comment. Aren't we learning a lot? Yes. I know we have different opinions, but in those opinions, we're making our own opinions as well. So that's what is a guarantee to say that when we're living here, we're not just living it. Okay? Yeah, so I'm learning a lot, and I really appreciate ideas. Someone said, oh, that's my idea, so it's rhyming, eh? Yes. Yeah, so thank you very much, everyone who has spoken. Helen, you have spoken my heart because of the act of giving and sharing of what you have. What we should just give. That's my thinking all the time. And what Chege says is completely, the first 2 minutes, 1 second he spoke, it also started my heart, because that's what I am. What Chege says, that's what I am. To say that I worry about my purpose for living. I'm living for others. I'm living for myself. I have a purpose. And my will should be aligned with God's will. That's very important. What happens after that? It means I'm competing with God. Wills, we should write, yes, it's good because we're living in this environment where people don't understand. But we don't want to overdo it because we are competing with our Creator now. We will overdo it. So let's be in alignment to what is your purpose, why the Creator put us on earth, which means to work for others, and that's what exactly most of the best we are doing. Whether we like it or not, it's not a good job to do, but sometimes we're doing it with passion, and that's just working for the others. The helpless. I say I work for the animal kingdom. In fact, I was the spokesperson in the politics. So I say I'm also the spokesperson. They knew me as a spokesperson for the animal kingdom. So I went on the podium to say, yes, I'm speaking for you people, but I also speak for the... I'm also speaking, I'm the spokesperson for the animal kingdom when they come to the veterinary. Because, you know, politicians will ridicule you. You say, don't listen to her, she's an animal doctor. She's full of rabies. You know, they'll talk any rubbish about veterinary. She's drunk deep. That woman, she's full of deep. She's drunk deep. She's mad. Everything will go on. But I say, yes, I'm the spokesperson for the health voiceless. So I'm speaking on behalf of animals, right? And everybody. So I say, thank you very much for these ideas which are coming out, Mary. Thank you very much. And that one of giving. When I left my living room, I'm thank God that I had to find myself here. Thank you for Victoria and Alice and the whole team they made me to come here. They made it up. I left, I took all my old rooms. I had three bedrooms and all my kids are not there. My two boys are not there. They're in school, but I'm mostly alone. So I say, why this whole house to me? So I put some students who are homeless. But I said, let me remove it. So I said, my sister says, you have too much. Some clothes you haven't worn for 2 years. What is this? So she's also like a preacher and a gospel. She's a pharmacist. She doesn't like crowding in any way. So she comes to my house, it's very crowded. She says, you have too much. I said, yes, you are right. This time around, I'm doing something. I took all my wardrobe and put it on the living room. It's like this, and then they're on the chairs, and I flew. I said, everybody here, when I come back, you will not be part of me. So when I go back, I'm going to do the charity, and I do give out and stuff like that, and I only have to keep things which I'm going to use. Yes. So I remember my mother saying, Koliwe, you don't do what I did, accumulating stuff. And look, I'm sick here in Atlanta, and you want to treat me, and I'm thinking about my bases, my clothes, my wardrobe, my things in the kitchen, that maid will not take care of them. I can't get treated because my things are alone there. I said, what are things, mom? She says, don't accumulate them. So all of a sudden I find myself I've accumulated stuff. No, I must go back and get rid of it. Yes. So Helen, thank you very much for reminding me. I thought I've done something wrong. But I talked to Sarah, and I even took a video saying, oh, all of you, you're getting out of the house. So I'm going back, I'm going to Kenya.
Thank you very much. For you. Want to go? Thank you very much. We are lucky, and it is very exciting as we share. And Daktari, and then you. Oh, something has been seen. Oh, thank you.
My one is a question to Joyce, and maybe it's for us to discuss. She said that we should not let our money depreciate.
Yes.
So I don't know how to do that. Maybe we can help me who has an idea. The second one is I wanted to say the issues of succession or inheritance depends on the way the family is approached it. So it's not all Kenyans who are have had the experience of Muhesha kama anatoka. My grandfather gave my dad the piece of land where we are settled now, where my dad is settled back in 1963, when the lands were settled, the allotment were given, he said to Kenya. And even when the titles came, it was in my father's name, but we never moved there because it was told it will be yours, but it will be yours when my sisters, and now our grandmother to us, the sister to my grandfather, she didn't. He had married and had only one daughter, and then her husband died very early. And so my grandfather took the sister and gave her that piece of land to farm on it until when she is unable to farm. And that's when my dad would occupy it. And that happened, and 2 years after I got married. So that's when they moved into that piece of land. All the other years we were in my grandfather's compound. So in short, I'm saying, it's the way we raise up our family. And we may have, as you said, an automobile that has to have witnesses. So for the remaining piece of land, where he was 5 acres, he said, this is for my other 2 sons. And my dad was given that piece, which is about 3 acres. And the younger brothers complained, and he told them, he's your firstborn, and that's my decision. They had only 1 sister, and in the process, she never got married. But in the process of her life, I'm just sharing this to help us accept that it is possible not to keep things until you are dying. There is earlier even to divide them much earlier. So my aunt, she didn't get married, but she was creative and she wanted to buy land somewhere in Nyandarua. And my grandfather gave her the title deed to take a bank loan, and she bought and paid, and things are settled. The other pieces of land he bought later, he divided them to his sons, all the 3 of them, and the grandchildren have inherited them. And their parents have followed the same. Today, even with that piece of land where our home is, my dad has already brought us there. And everybody knows my pieces here. I have 3 brothers. And our last one of our younger sisters went to stay with our parents. She knows, she's not married, she has a child, came to take care of our parents. My mom had dementia, she passed on last year, and she stayed like 10 years. So she really needed that support. And she sacrificed her career as an accountant to come and stay home. So she knows this sector 1 year. It's mine. And my brothers know that. It doesn't have to be written. Those are things that have already been said earlier. We were given a portion of land somewhere around Sweetwater. They had 18 acres. They divided. My siblings have sold theirs. I told my sister is at home. He looked at inheritance as a daughter from the parents. He said, I still have my acre somewhere in Sweetwater. And what I'm saying is, those things about writing, please let's write. I went through, Steve got sick for a very short time. It never looked like he was going to die. He was a man of faith. And he had never been sick that much. But really what saved me is because he had written, not a will, but a notebook I knew. And we just used to say, well, in case it happens to me, get to my drawer, so you will find a notebook with details. So that's why I went and found the password for all his bank accounts. I got the password even for those briefcases. With passwords. And that's where the marriage certificate of the church. Wow. So I got the password there. So write them. I've also written them and put them in a notebook, and my children know. He even spoke verbally about the plots that we had. This one takes that. He even said about where to be buried, and he said direct. So with all the storms that we had in his family, when he passed on and the parents and the relatives came, they came like strangers, waiting to be told what to do, because he had already spoken. Including all that we knew. He used to tell his boys though they were young. So in short, let's not be so secretive. It feels a lot of pressure. Some things just speak them out. If you want to give your son that piece of land, maybe a plot itakuwa yako, na itakuwa yako, that's how we share them mapema, not usigoje. Actually, as she rightly said, a lot of tears when death comes. It's not because people are missing the person. It is because of the pain of what next. Some is support, some of course is guilt that we did not do what was right. So healing also is faster when some things are put right. So may I encourage that we be transparent.
Thank you very much. She's a woman of God. She has thought a lot of substance, so we shall crack twice. The first one, the second one, the woman of God, the second one, when you sit next to the MC, you get favors. 1 minute as you continue concerning the conscientious race.
Yes. So thank you so much. And I think from what we're discussing here, we realize that it is very personal.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not like there is one size that fits all, it's very personal. And so we have to self-reflect and then do what is best for us.
Yes.
Yeah, and also think about, even when we are gone, we are not just like, just something. I mean, we're also socially integrated with other people.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's also a social element that we have to think about and what next and what is going to come up. Now, you raised a very good question on how do we maintain our money so that it doesn't get depreciated. And that's a whole topic. That's a whole topic of discussion. And maybe when we are here, we can still get to discuss that.
Yes.
But it is something that we're encouraged to do, because when you keep your money in the bank, it just stays there. Yeah, and then it's not growing, it's not helping you. Yeah, so we have to think about how do I make my money continue growing and beat inflation. Because with inflation, it just gets less and less, and the buying power is less and less. So that's a whole topic we can discuss. But there's something else I wanted to talk about, like the issue of having a trust.
Yes.
Because like for example, we marry, you have a child with disability.
That's right.
Yeah, so a child with disability, you have to think about how do I cater for this child? Yeah. Because it's not like everybody else who's going to fight for themselves. Yeah, so there are some of the things that you have to decide that are put 1 million, 2 million somewhere, and every month I want this child to be given so much for care. And this is the person who is going to take care of them. You can even decide that this money I have somewhere, it will only be available after 5 years or 6 years. And then this is how it's going to be given, so that there is something that is clear. I was talking to somebody and they told me that there's this billionaire who had left a lot of money, but he knew his kids cannot manage the money. So he said, he told the financial or whatever, investment, whatever way he put his money, that only give them 300,000 to maintain themselves for the rest of their lives. Then the rest, keep it there, let it keep growing. Because if you divide it, they'll just use it. So there are different ways you can do it. You can either give it back to them and they manage, or you can give it somewhere where it benefits them, takes care of their basics, and then at least hopefully, not everybody can manage everything, because we know very well. Yeah, so let's customize it to our needs, and let's not be afraid. And I know we are talking here, but we also have to go and talk with our spouses, unfortunately. So let's be open with each other. And except those two exist, the rest of us have to talk to our spouses, and we all have a different money mentality, a different mentality, but we have to agree for the sake of what has brought us together and for our will. But even if your spouse does not agree, do it for yourself.
Thank you. Madam Joyce, to report to me, we are grabbed for, but we can communication Thank you. That was a good session. She has done well. My input in the next 1 minute to that, being broke, you can dance. And you know you'd rather dance than sing. So what I'm saying, my father-in-law, I'm married to Kenyaga, my father-in-law had divided before he passed on his shamba. Fortunately, he had only one shamba between his sons and his daughters. So, and the portion he left for himself and the wife, it was written or joint with the last-born daughter. So when he died, there was really no stress. My father from Kiambere did the opposite. He has a lot of land. So he did not talk. He died. He was beaten, and he died after 2 years of being brutally beaten. But he did not talk, and he was polygamous. So and he has a lot of land, and he had a lot of animals. But one of my younger brothers decided he's clever than even my elder step brothers, and he did not want to start the succession. See, he owns the death certificate. Nobody has ever seen it. And then he decided that my father had left a will so that he owns 3/4 of Kiambere with his son. because he has only one son. So I went to court. And broke. I'm a Christian, but I went to court. I got annoyed. There are two of my elder brothers. They are in a lot of property. I also don't need a shamba. But for the sake of my two elder brothers, nikaenda nikapinga. Nikagojea pia the titles came out. And I went and got a lawyer. They should not meddle with it. The 7 pieces which came out with my father's name. And that's where we are. And that's where we are. Until he decides to honor the older brothers. And also, I also benefit anyway. And nikipata nitauza. Simdangani. Nikipata nitauza. But initially, kama angeleta maneno wangegawa. Because my mother passed in 2009. That's a long time. Then analeta maneno to 2017. I can't take it. Lying it down. Anyway, let's stand up kidogo before we go to the next topic. Kidogo. Tuangalie ndio tuone, hebu tusike chini. Nani anaweza shika? Tusike chini. Get your space. As we stand, there's this song we used to sing, I'll make you fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men, fishers of men, fishers of men. Just that. So where there is an F, the females sit. Where there is an M, the males sit. So you sit and stand. Where there is an F, the females sit. You sit and you stand up. Where there is an M, the males sit and stand up. So, am I communicating? Yes. Machine instructions? Yes. So when do we stop? When the song finishes, okay. We can decide to finish it because Mushipi is here with us. Yes. And then you can finish the next topic. So you also, if you feel the song, you must listen. So you don't. You start with the singing before you listen. So anyone, I like to know. So I'll make you fishers of men. 1, 2, sing. I will make you fishers of men. Fishers of men. Fishers of men. I will make you fishers of men if you follow me. But you decided to just mix them. And Esther, you are supposed to oh, we want it also. Oh, you want the talent. Oh, so we can so you don't want it. So can we have a thank you very much, that was good. Can we have our next speaker?
Good morning again. Esther is a woman of God, and I am a man of God. I can't say only Esther is a woman of God. All these women are women of God, and all these men are men of God. So, personally, I have nothing to do with children. I took them to school, and I told them to work hard and get their own.
Oh, there's a seat here.
There's a seat here.
Yeah.
Even the TV in my house is mine.
That's
It is not theirs. They need to work for theirs. Yeah?
A good father.
But I planted 15,000 trees for them. That's what I said. 15,000. Everything else is mine. No negotiable. Yeah. Now I have learned, check this, body. Once life is gone,
It's a medical
it's medical waste. It's a new terminology I got. Medical waste. And no matter how much land you own, you only need 6 by 6 by 4. All the others. Cremation, you don't need anything. Throw ash out there. So, I have said this before. When the story of my life is finally written, Bvm Class of 1988 will have a full chapter.
Wow.
And I have not left it for people to write my story. I have written it myself.
That's it.
So that they don't start saying, this year, where was he working? This year, where was he? I have written the story myself. So they'll just do the last bits of that story. Because the common denominator is that all of us will leave someday. Whether we like it or not, whether we like hearing that or not. And that's why Joyce's talk was relevant. Trying to plan for those unknowns. Before I go to that presentation, touching on to what Joyce was saying, I work for an Indian farm. And the difference between Indian farms and those ones owned by us is that theirs seem to outlive generations. We have lots of examples of African farms that have died with the owners. This morning over breakfast we were talking with Komu, and he was indicating that one of our colleagues is very busy. He cannot make it, can't get time to come to this kind of thing because he's doing so much every day. And I said that's a huge mistake. At this age, you should be delegating.
Yes.
And things should run even if you're not there.
Yes.
So if you find that things will not happen until you're sitting there, then know that you're doing the wrong thing.
You're in trouble.
You are in trouble. My current bosses are 4th generation. Their business was started in 1889. They keep no secrets. Today, the eldest has a son in 2nd year college. The son is already being brought into the business and is attached to this department, that department. They are taught what goes on. They finish college and all of them come back to the company. They do not go out. Ours refuse. Some of our here don't want to do these things. They're attaching down and dogs and here. Those ones, for some reason, I think there's a covenant, they come back to that very business. And their businesses live beyond them. Trustees of this world die with the owners. And we have many examples. Normally we won't live long enough to make all mistakes and learn. So we need to learn from what others have done. And I think that's the purpose of us sitting here and trying to share. Helen, in her life, has helped me to know something that I didn't know. Once upon a time when we were in school, there was a big talk in the country about Beijing. When you just mention the name Beijing, Wanganga is smiling. 85. Beijing. There is a word called gender. I used to think that gender is women. Even educated as I am, I thought that when you say gender, you are. I just learned a few years ago that gender is actually both.
Yes.
It's biological, whether you are male. And I came to appreciate the role of the women and the mothers in the room.
Amen.
You are an important group.
Yeah.
Some of the men may not like hearing that, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
All of us, and I mentioned yesterday, suckled somebody's breast. Mheshimiwa, even you. So I have come to change my perception about the women. I'm a real man. They can be a bit, but I have changed my perception.
Amen. Mindset.
Thanks to Helen. I was doing some little work with her here in Machakos County, and I learned a lot. A little personal story. 2. When COVID came, like has been said already, we realized how short life can be. Because people we knew just disappeared. Some of us were unfortunate that we got COVID. And when I got COVID and I mentioned it the other day, my 2 phones, none was ringing. Nobody called me. Nobody. Except family in the morning and in the evening. The others thought that they catch COVID. I would have to pick my phone and check whether it is on. Last year, September, and I'm saying this because all of us tend to do that. I was sitting in front of my desk in the office, and I just dropped. My head just dropped on the desk momentarily for a fraction of a second. Then I asked myself, what was happening? And I stayed there for about 10 minutes trying to figure out what that was that I felt. And after about an hour, I packed my stuff and went home. I stay alone. I'm sure it's a bad thing to stay alone. I stay alone because I'm preparing to retire. So the other group is away making the ground. So I went back to the house and sat there until evening. It was about 10 o'clock when I dropped. In the evening, I went to hospital because I realized something was not right. I had a headache that was not responding to anything. Normally, I'm a tea addict, so I took tea thinking the headache will go, it didn't go, and it remained through. So in the evening, I went to hospital and had a 1-hour chat with those guys. And they took anything they wanted to take to test and try to find out what I was suffering. And all the tests they did showed we not give them a clue. So the good guy started asking me a story about my work life. What do you do? So I started saying what I do. I'm a pharmaceutical guy, working to meet targets every single day. When I leave, when I take leave from this guy's work, I go and continue with my own personal work. So I leave the house at 8, come back at 9, doing my personal thing. Then the leave ends, I go back to work. And I've done that for the last 15 years. So after a long talk, to make the long story short, the diagnosis was burnout. And I was told, get out of this world, run away somewhere, switch off your phones, just go and rest. Eat, drink, rest. Without any drug, the whole thing resolved. Because I was also feeling dizzy, I would start feeling dropping. So it ended. And I realized why people save money out there to come here and just relax. And we think they have a lot of money. A lot of those Muzungus are very poor. But they save so that they come and just relax. Coming to this facility was one of that. Just getting you out of your busy schedule, Dr. Wagana. Those cows like chicken from morning 5 a.m. up to 5 in the evening. That's what you said. Every day. So coming here is a good distraction, getting you out of that. You may not realize the benefit that is there. And that forms the basis of my talk. And it is wellness. I'm not an expert, just like yourselves. just a colleague, but we felt instead of looking for people from outside, pay them money to come and talk to us, then we just volunteer and share. So, like Joyce's, this is just going to be a highlight, then we can discuss it in details.
Wait, lady.
So, although I'm a vet,
We want to take
and like Oliver today, I want to talk about the human being.
Yes.
My focus now is on the human being. Today I'm a disciple of the human being. The heart I'm wearing today is human.
Yeah. Pharmacist.
So we have had a lot about retirement. It's a good thing. It's a change. But it has its own challenges. As we listened yesterday, many of us find it very hard to transition from the usual busy schedule, waking up every morning and doing things a certain way. Then suddenly, things have changed. If you do not plan for it, then you get a shock. The best example are teachers. When teachers retire, they were used to waking up early in the morning and they're in school. Then suddenly, without plans, the guy wakes up, he's just at home, he's nowhere to go. So teachers would walk to the nearest center, buy a newspaper, come home, sit out there and read the whole paper from page to page. Feeling the crossword, thank you. I feel that crossword. Even that's. That is the reason why, after retirement, those that do not plan well do not die beyond 2 years. Across profession. Some of us spend a lot of our time working away from our families, and we don't get time to bond properly with the children. Then we arrive back after retirement, and we can't fit in. Yes.
Exactly.
So there are little conflicts every day.
Where were you?
Where were you all these years? But if you plan well, things continue well. But remember, as we age, our bodies also age. The cells, the tissues, the organs all age. Sometimes they fail. And so health starts failing. And that's why at this age, we all need to have medical insurance. If you are here and you don't have medical insurance, then you become a burden to others. You may have lots of tracts of land, but you will need ready cash at that hour. No one buy land.
Liquid money. She said liquid cash.
Yes, you need liquid cash. So our medical expenses are now increasing as we age, and so we need to adopt some strategies to take care of ourselves. And that's where our wellness comes in. I thought I should define professional wellness, but define wellness first, which is practicing healthy habits every single day. And that's why you are offered a blood pressure machine. Daily, you record your pressure every day. Professional wellness, on the other hand, is the wholeness that results from a balance in our lives, at work, with the people that we interact with, family and others, and with the money, finances. That balance, all this, is what gives us professional wellness. Any imbalance in any of this causes you stress. You have everything, but you have no money, stress.
Yes.
You have money, you have problem in family, stress. You have everything, you have no job to do, stress. So any imbalance in those areas causes stress.
Cortisol.
Consistent stress every day leads to violence. That's what I suffer. Burnout is a form of mental illness because it affects so we must practice good self-care, both at home and at work. So, wellness, and a lot of us, even those of us in this room, when I'm talking wellness, everyone is thinking about physical health. Health, weight management, food, but it is more. It is both the physical, the mental, and the spiritual. But this spiritual here is not the one of religion and faith. It is that one about searching the purpose of our existence. Compassion, caring, forgiving. Wellness is that act of practicing healthy habits daily to be able to attain better physical and mental health outcomes. So instead of just surviving, we thrive. The Global Wellness Institute defines wellness as that active pursuits of activities, choices, and lifestyles that lead us to a state of holistic health. Holistic. Striving for good health, living life fully, and in a way that allows you to become the very best that you can be under your potentials and circumstances. So health is a goal, but wellness is a process of achieving it. So we need to make choices, and the right choices. Some of us know what is good for us, and we know what we need to do to be better, but we may not act. And if we do, we backslide in a short while to the familiar ways. You say, I want to stop smoking, I know smoking is bad. Then you try to stop. Then slowly tomorrow you go back to the mozo. Start smoking again. So you can change your habits. Yes. When a year begins, everybody says, New Year resolution. Working out. Everybody hopes into the gym. 3-4 weeks later, they all disappear. Go back to the family. But what you must remember is that all you need is little piecemeal changes, piecemeal stuff. Pole, sometimes you fail along the way, but you continue. Because failure is part of success.
Yep.
So you go to the gym, you say you want to work out. You feel a bit of pain, you stop tomorrow, go again. Do a bit more. Slowly. So What has happened to us up to today is history. The present and tomorrow will now lie in the choices that we make today. That blood pressure machine is part of it.
Every day, every morning.
Yes.
Every Sunday. Monday to Sunday.
So wellness is a cornerstone of quality life. The decisions we make a difference in our lives. So actively, every day, pursuing physical activities, making choices and lifestyle changes. If you eat a lot, you need to know that you need to eat healthily and moderate the portions. Those little changes. We need to control all the risk factors that contribute to ill health. Those of us that smoke, we need to be aware of the dangers of smoking. Those of us that are imbibed of that good drink need to know the dangers. Some of the drink is laced with poisons, and that's a big story currently. A year or so ago, I lost a bad friend of mine because of alcohol. The guy could not stay without alcohol. Under the seat of his car was always a bottle of Tusker that he would suffer those withdrawals, and he would start shaking. He stops and opens and drinks stabilizes. So finally his liver died and it remained this size.
My God.
He just died. Of course, he was using alcohol as a drug to treat something. So there was a bigger problem. Alcohol was not a problem. And a lot of us are in that, particularly vets. One of our colleagues, Cherry, passed on with alcohol. And part of his problem was alcohol. Of course, there is the issue of diets. Joyce is an expert in this. I am not, but I know that we must eat a balanced diet and eat in moderation. There's also the other extreme of guys who fear food. They like to remain small. And in a function like this, because we are all walking there, they go and eat. Then immediately they walk to the washrooms, throw their fingers in the mouth, and they vomit. I know a vet in that class. It is a mental health issue.
Yeah.
So physical activities, and I think that this is why someone suggested that I be given this topic. The benefits, strengthening our bones and muscles, reducing risks of diseases, and giving us more energy, and feeling nice. It is an area that is difficult for many of us. And I cannot forget a statement that Chege said the other day when we were planning for this thing. Chege said, to use his words, we need to pick activities that rhyme with our age. He didn't want to see us being put in sacks and jumping in sacks. But I will tell you that we are very young.
Yes.
Rani, we are very young. I'm talking now.
Yes. Very young.
We are very young. You will be amazed at the things that your body can do at this age. I'm probably one of the older members of this class.
But your body looks young.
No, one of the older ones. I was born in 1961. So I will be 63 this year. Helen is only 59 or 58. 58. But the things I can do, some young people cannot do. So it is not about us saying that age, we are so old we cannot jump in sacks. We can jump in sacks and even do tougher things.
Really? Yes.
Yes. Anyway, yes.
Okay.
That is, if you are jumping.
No, you start slowly. Slowly, small little steps.
Okay.
So we need to engage in physical activities at least 30 minutes a day. Of course, when you're working with cows like Wanganga, you are actually doing something. And the check here, magnets. So we need to do that. I have seen people knocked in Nairobi just under the footbridges, knocked and dead, because they cannot climb the footbridge. It's too much. So they would rather take a risk and cross the road. So where possible, use the stairs. Forget about the elevators. When you get a chance to use the stairs, use the stairs. Even to 7th, 8th floor. Because what happens when there's no power and you need to go to 7th floor, you use the stairs.
You go to borrow.
So if you can hike, like Lucy,
yes.
If you can hike,
yes.
Go hiking. Do something that you enjoy.
Exactly. Enjoy it.
Start with that. Enjoy it.
Yes.
If you like cycling, do. If you want to walk a dog, go and walk a dog, because in the process, you also benefit. So it doesn't have to be a gym.
Yeah. Like swimming.
And swimming, of course, swimming is a complete exercise.
Holistic.
Learn to recognize the warning signs. Know your body.
Yes.
And learn to know that something is wrong.
Yes.
And
respect.
Do not wait until like you prop on the table. Then you know things are not good. Yesterday we didn't do very well here. People were woke up early to go and walk. And they slept at 2. So try to get enough sleep. This is part of wellness. For those of us that take coffee, keep off coffee, especially in the evenings.
Chai is worse than coffee.
Even the chai has its own, but coffee, of course, is worse because of the effect on the cardiovascular. Yeah. So in the evenings, you need to include quiet, calming activities just before unwinding to go to bed. And try to wake up at the same time every day. That's a 63-year-old guy.
90 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh no, 180.
It is all in the mind. All in the mind. That is Muchibi. Hey. This is last month.
28-year-old.
Last month.
45. We're talking about degrees.
So if you can hike like Lucy, go hiking. This was Abadea's 7 points. 10 kilometers from the ground to the top, climbing a hill.
Small hills on the Himalayas.
So do something that you like, that works you good. Of course, I'm in love with that sport.
No wonder you're not fit.
You're not like a demo.
Demo. Aya. Wellness is multi-dimensional. And some of these dimensions will touch on the area that Joyce was speaking about. And each dimension has an impact on our physical and mental well-being. So those simple choices that you make daily are the ones that will put you on the road to healthy, stress-free lives, positive social interactions, and achieving the optimal health that we all desire to have. So So the first dimension is physical. Caring for our body to stay healthy. Taking care of our bodies to avoid injuries. Putting in the right things to avoid problems. So nourishing the body through exercise, good food, good rest. The intellectual dimension, engaging the world. And I liked Mwendy yesterday was saying, sometimes he thinks he may sleep until the brain also sleeps. So engaging the world through learning, solving problems like Helen was giving us things to solve, engaging our mind, jogging our minds. Those stimulating activities like what we were doing last night, creativity, and learning throughout life. Expanding our knowledge and skills, and when gifted, we share that with others. I liked the part of Lucy of reaching out to others and giving them a shoulder with her experience. The emotional dimension, understanding why you are feeling what you're feeling, and respecting that. Managing your own feelings, and being able to appreciate the feelings of others. And being enthusiastic about your life, about our lives going forward. The social dimension, and that's where the Lucy one is, maintaining healthy relationships. It's very sad that a number of our colleagues have never found it useful to engage, to team up with us. A good number of them are on that WhatsApp group. They just read what we write. They never comment, they never do a thing. And last evening we were speaking about Dr. Kita. Kita was on our group. Kita never used to say a thing. The only thing I remember is that the last misfortune we had when we lost a colleague, just before Kita passed on, he contributed. And that was the first time he did that. There are others that are just out there, and some of you called some of them for this function. And some of you got discouraged by the answers you got. It is up to them. But we are saying that it is important to maintain relationships. Pick a phone and call someone. And when someone calls you, do not take that call for granted. Someone calls and says, I just called to say hi. How many people call you to say hi? So do not take that call for granted. Develop relationships. Enjoy being with others. And at this point I need to mention that we have colleagues that have sacrificed their own monies for us to be here. The monies we paid was not going to be enough for us to afford this facility. There are even individuals who paid and did not come. They just sent me money, said, I'm sending because I support that cause. I'm not going to make it. And I did mention one of them, Dr. Siamba, Prof. Siamba. He sent me money, but he said, I'm not coming. But we have colleagues who would feel like 20,000 is a lot of money. When a Mzungu is saving money to come here and just relax. So, caring about us and meaningfully contributing to the life of the community. Joyce came from Rome, right? Yes. Or you are around?
Both of them.
Ellen came from the US. Yes. I mean, spending money all the way to come and be here for 2 days. Colleen came from Malawi.
There is no money.
She had to beg for a lift.
She gave me a lift. She had to lift me up.
Because the spirit was willing.
Yes.
So you came. But there are colleagues who are right here. You will not find them. Some of them call me and say, you invest a lot of time in this Bvm group. Some people call me and ask me that.
One asked me, what do I gain?
So wellness, they have no idea.
We are gaining.
Spiritual, finding purpose, value and meaning of life. And participating in activities that are consistent with your own personal beliefs and values. The spiritual dimension. And financial dimension. Managing our resources, living within our means, making informed financial and investment decisions. If someone had taught me about this when I was young, I would be probably very different. But we were unlucky during our times. We were being thrown out there in the world for us to find our own merit. So you swim until you find something to clutch on, and that is the route you take. We also need to be aware of each other's financial needs and circumstances that are often unique. And that's why the committee here said, thanks to some of our friends and colleagues who supported us, we said, if you don't have enough, the committee will top up for you. There are individuals here who are topped up for. So understanding people's different unique challenges. Some of us are retired, so that monthly income is not there. So we've got to appreciate that fact. And finally, the environmental dimension, understanding the effects of what we do to the environment and how that affects our health and well-being. Smoking and puffing smoke in front of the faces of others. The meaning of that, being aware of what that means to the well-being of the others. You smoke, you control how much you inhale, but you unleash all of it to the faces of others who cannot control what they breathe in. Being aware of the state of our earth and the effects of our daily actions on the environment. So we need to demonstrate commitment to the entire planet. Nutrition is part of it, wellness. Today we are used to fast foods. Pull up at a petrol station, as you're fueling, you quickly pick some junk stuff. You're munching as you go along. Lots of processed foods today in the market. And the dangers of processed foods. So we need to remember the importance of wholesome. Ile unga ya kusiaga ile ya nyumbani as opposed to the whole packets of pembe. Eating a balanced diet in moderate portions. If you can remember Dr. Ken Wameyo, may God rest his soul. Ken had an unhealthy relationship with food. And I used to tell Ken, when I used to think Ken would come and sell eggs. Ken would come and buy several crates of eggs. Then he shows up a few days later and he says he wants more. I said, what happened to them? I finished. So he told me it's about 15. And 15 eggs that are Ken, when you had a meeting, you would sit next to the buffet area. You would sit very close there. If you watched Ken. But it was not his wish. Ken had a problem. All of us did not notice the problem of Ken until very late. And that's why we need to be meeting like this so that we know one another. If you did not hear about Ken on social media for a day, you needed to look out for him, find out what has happened. Because it was not known. There are people who, if they do not write on our group this discussion and they don't write, you need to call quickly and find out whether they are okay. So we need to know one another. eating supper. A lot of us eat and go and sleep immediately after eating. Because when we eat, the carbohydrates, if they are complex, they are broken down, it takes a longer time to break down into the simple sugars, glucose. Then you eat too late, they are broken and they are all stored in the muscle. They are all packed there. So you gain weight. Fruits. If you have tried to work out, you've tried to live out some habit that you know you need to live, and it doesn't seem to be working, you don't give up. Because failure is part of it. It's part of success. A lot of us don't do these things because it is in our mind that it's difficult. I can't do it, it's difficult. So you lose it in your mind, you lose it. And I mentioned yesterday that I had a meeting with those fellows that were sitting in the head. And that meeting changed my life. And I was chairman. And I dictated and said what I wanted. And that made me stand in front of 19 or 20 vet doctors today, sharing a little. So, ask those guys, when it's time to take your blood pressure, and there's a fellow who will come and say, no, you're in a hurry, you need to go. Tell that guy to wait. Take your pressure. And write it down. Write the date and write the pressure. If it is AM, write AM pressure. If it is PM, write PM pressure. So let's try to resist those negative voices that will always come and try to ask you to stop doing this thing that you would otherwise do for your own. So thank you very much.
Wow.
Asante sana.
Wow. Thank you, John. Nasikiaje? You should just have given him a standing ovation. Just give him a standing ovation and we do 5. 5 because he has talked and it is concealed. Nobody is feeling guilty. We are running and we shall try to improve. So let's go 5.
Thank you.
Good. Now we go to input the reactions for the next 20 or so minutes or even 30. Because we, in French is really, we shall go around 1 so that at least we have some discussion. And the group photo, Madam Alice.
Oh yes.
Here, even when she was not in the BVM first years, you know you are cooking popcorn for us. Outside, and personally I was mesmerized. What is this girl doing? I did not think popcorn can be cooked. I used to find it in the supermarket. Anyway, so reactions, Helen, Joyce, ngoja kidogo, 3. Helen, Joyce, Mithali, first round. 1 minute each.
Okay, Mchigi, thank you so much for that. It's really nice to talk about health and wellness. I just wanted to add my opinion. I think this is where we add our opinion.
Yes, yes.
I try to walk an hour every day, but I know it's very hard to keep that, so I do it in bits, 15 minutes. Like I'm sitting, I work from home a lot when I'm not traveling. So I stand up from my desk and I go around the house, 1 lap, then I come back and continue. Then I have a call, a Zoom call, then something else. And then over lunch, I have my lunch. I move away from my workspace, from my office, and I go into a different space. I don't spend my work, my eating, I don't eat at once, I move. So I have dedicated spaces for that. When I go to shop, I park at the end of the parking lot. So that I walk to the supermarket, you know, like I walk. So maybe I walk 5-10 minutes. And that really helps. It has really helped me. Then, 2, I have separate spaces. People use their bedroom for watching TV and doing all those things. You sit in your bed and you're reading. No, I do those. When I go to bed, I go to sleep. Plus, you know, I separate those in my life. I know where, and my body now understands. When I go to my bedroom, it knows. Then I get that time for sleeping. And then one more, I really have a busy job. My job is very, very, I travel a lot. I'm always traveling, and I can tell you this, I manage a $100 million USA project in Asia and in Africa, and now it's in its 4th, and it's so stressful. But I don't pick up calls after 5. I'm done. When 5 o'clock comes, everyone knows Helen will not respond to email. Helen will not pick up her phone. Sometimes I'll read it, but now everyone knows. Because I found myself when I started, I was working weekends, and I was working, into the night, people, and the countries I work in are in Africa, West Africa, East Africa, Asia, and Latin America. So can you imagine the time zone throughout everybody? But because I decided, on my project, everyone knows. Helen will not pick up the phone after 5. I made it a rule, and now it's become practice. And you know what? Even the colleagues who work with me, they started doing that. Yeah. They have their weekends. We have our weekends. Over the weekend, I'm done at 5. Yes. Monday morning, I go back to work. I don't work in an emergency hospital. That's my argument. It's not a life and death issue. Yes. If it's not a life and death issue, I don't have to be there on Saturday. I can do things at my own time. And then another thing, now I'm an empty nester. My best friend is Charles. We hang out together, because the kids are gone. It's just the 2 of us in the house. So we talk, we laugh, we share our issues, we go out on dates. Who says you can't go out on a date when you're 50-something? We go, we have our weekends, we go out, we'll take, one time we'll travel away, we'll go take time to have fun in between all of us. Okay,
Thank you. Joyce, 1 minute.
1 minute. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to maybe add and compliment on nutrition. I've been working on nutrition like forever, human nutrition. And maybe one of the things, because we talk about undernutrition, overnutrition, and then the micronutrient deficiencies, which is hidden hunger, we don't see it. Yeah, so we think we are okay, but unless you take the tests, you don't know what you're missing. And some of the ones that you may miss even are vitamin D. Vitamin D. Yeah, and you know you're missing that. Yeah, so you need to check and maybe get checked, and so that you know what the levels are and where you are. Issues around cholesterol, and we think cholesterol because you ate meat, but there's some people who are just eating like naturally. So you need to check your cholesterol, and then know then what you need to do to address some of those things. So there are those things which are hidden, and then you hear somebody collapse, but then they looked okay. And they're okay, they're not necessarily even having a big body. So you have to check your micronutrients, because that's hidden. Overweight you see, but the hidden hunger you don't see. At the time when you see it, it's too late. Yeah, so those are some of the things also to check. Then the other one in terms of the diet, maybe one very practical thing, I think, let's think about what is on our plate. 70% should be fruits and vegetables. 70%. Just a very simple thing. And then the other one is water. Are we hydrating enough? Because most times we are not. For me, I have to push myself to drink water. I always say I'm a camel. I don't take water naturally. I have to push myself. And they say, like, maybe after every 2 hours, take a glass. Every 2 hours, take a glass of water. So that at least you have taken enough to keep your body functions and physiology working. But I think we don't do, and I think as we age, we take less, and we take more tea. And the tea is not compensating for the water. Yeah. So let's make sure that we are we are hydrating enough. Yeah, and then the other thing also maybe just also sharing a little bit. I've been away for almost 10 years, away from my family, just making the children. And you need to keep yourself grounded and safe. Because it's very easy to lose the groundedness. So for me, we had a habit, like, we talk with my husband every day. And we knew we have to do that every day. So that kept the connection. Otherwise, everybody takes their own direction and then that's it. Yeah, but you really have to actively go out of your way to maintain the connection. And I say that even just something like love is a verb and not a noun. You have to do something about it. Yeah, but I think also when we meet, and then we are very excited, and then we just slowly, like, inakuwa ni kawaida. But I think this is the time to make it not kawaida. Yeah, so do things that you never did before when the kids were there. Now we have all the time. So let's make it interesting. Let's even have a couples outing. Let's just do things that are interesting for us. And see this person as not just that person in Israel. Yeah, there's something else in them that maybe you haven't even discovered. Yeah, so let's also go out of our way to light the fire. And then one other thing also, each one of us has an emotional home. Yeah, so there are others who are more likely to be sad, others who are more likely, we have to know our emotional home and see how is that affecting us. And I like what he said about the physical exercise really, because everything about us is our energy. So the physical exercise also changes our energy state. And even now how we communicate with the others, because they can feel our energy. So you don't have to, like, even when you go to hospital, someone is in a coma, they can feel you. And they know that you're coming there, you're not caring. And they know when you're caring. So there are those non-verbal things that we think that you have to say it, but your energy really talks to the other person. So when we are having a conversation, and I can feel that you're either rejecting me or we are together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we have to start maybe changing our energy, because when you change our energy and our focus, even that we are more optimistic and happy about even the decisions we make. Yeah. So I think that is really a state that we have to think, and the physical side, and even just smiling for nothing, and even just laughing for nothing also helps to change our state. Yeah. Then maybe I'll just mention one last thing. We have 6 human needs. That is 6. One is that each one of us needs some level of certainty. Otherwise, the ground will just fall around you. You need to be certain that, like, you wake up and there's a roof on the top. Or you need to wake up and know that, like, you're covered with insurance or whatever. So there are things that you need a bit of certainty around. But then again, when we get so used to certainty, then we also need variety. So we still need also some level of uncertainty. Then we also all need some level of significance. Yeah, so that you know that I stand out for something. We also need some level of significance. Then the other one is love and connection. Many of us will have the connection but not the love. Because we are scared of love. Because it hurts. Yeah, so we go for the connection and we forget about the love. But then each one of us needs that love and connection. And I think that's why we are all sitting around here together. Yeah. Then there are 2 other things: growth and contribution. And this is what ultimately makes a difference for us. That we are growing, whether we are learning new things, and we are contributing beyond ourselves. So I think at the level of where we are now is really to think, how do we nurture and be able to contribute? And that's what really our legacy is all about. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's clap for her. You have to learn my way today until the day is over. Thank you. Who was the hand? Na mnapitisha dakika yangu moja. I know we are.
You are saying leave alone. She's my friend.
Now I am controlling your time. You are not here.
Yes. Lucy, I'm seeing you are doing very well. And yes, mine is a comment, perhaps, and a question, and I'll make it within 1 minute.
Yes.
I wanted to, as a committee, part of the committee, I want to appreciate our presenters. Okay, I may not be able to do the vote of that, but during our discussions as to who can give a talk, we said, but within us, we are all professionals, and we are capable. Each one of us is capable. We say, who is going to preach? We are all capable. Who is going to do this? So we want to appreciate both Michigan and Joyce, and you can see really what one can bring out for us. to discuss. So I want to appreciate that. The question from Shibi is that in your experience and in your presentation, are there challenges that perhaps are specific maybe to the boy child? Like you can comment about, or anybody else who can also comment about it, in terms of wellness. Yeah.
In terms of
this wellness.
The boy child.
That may be affecting a boy child more than the girl child, or vice versa.
That's for clarification. You said the boy child will be
this boy child here.
So the male gender.
I guess we have agreed today that let's be the children used to be. So that it will be used to
we clap for Mugari Domitila. So we should be responding to this. Another round.
So mine is very clear. I'm not talking for long. Mine is very clear. I have an app on my phone that tracks the walking that I do, and I have a goal of 5 kilometers every day. But I do it like hell. In the morning when I'm feeding the chicken and making sure I have breakfast, I'm tracking. Break time, I take 2 minutes. I mean, every 2 hours I take a break like that during the day. And I'll find I've done 6, sometimes even 7.
Thank you. Let's clap for Mary.
Thank you very much. I want to applaud Dr. Wilberforce for his presentation. We have learned a lot from it. I didn't know within us we have researched. It is something that has been researched perfectly. In fact, it's so candid. I think he also gave the example of himself about that burnout. It really touched me. The other day I was watching the TV 2 weeks ago. I saw the deputy president was talking about alcohol. And he gave examples of how his brothers have died. So I like that candidness. It is the one that changes. Dr. Wilberforce, yes. When they say, when you feel pain yourself, it shows that you are living. But when you feel pain for others, that is humanity. I'm so much impressed by your presentation. I have learned a lot from it, and from now henceforth, there are things that I have learned from you. I happen to be the chairman of a committee in the National Assembly, committee called the Services and Facilities. It is the one that deals with very many things, the welfare of the members of parliament, among them catering. Among them gym in the National Assembly. So I hadn't seen the importance of visiting the gym so often. You are the chairman. I'm now looked at it differently from you. No wonder you rule 40.
Thank you. Esther, let me last.
Mine, I think I've just yet when seated. I'm requesting the Wilberforce will be willing to share with us that presentation. Because there was so much and it was not possible.
Yeah, I'll put it on email.
Yes. Thank you.
What's up?
Oh, what's up?
Email is okay.
Do we have emails?
I can put it on WhatsApp.
Yes, we clap for Esther.
Thank you. Thank you very much. John, yes. I congratulate you because we started punching things when we were in college, or maybe earlier, and you have continued with it up to the level of excellence. And let me tell you, members, the reason why we selected John is because we actually argued. We'll get somebody who will come and give us stories, but we know what John has been doing. And that is it. We are doing karate with him and Karuku and Maria. I don't see anybody else. Now, how many here did not go to NYS? How many did not go to NYS? I also know my better half did. Now, personal reasons. Okay, that's good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is something that we know about exercise. It is not too late. Once you have gone through very intensive exercise, you get something called muscle memory. Your muscles keep that memory. So if today you decided you want to do exercise, you're going to, you start small, as he said, and then you go incremental. Over a small period of time, like 2 weeks, you're going to have some aches. And learn to know the good aches and the pathological aches. The good aches do not prevent you to work. And when you warm up, they disappear. The bad ache will continue and it will go to throbbing. And then you know you have a problem. Now, with muscle memory, once you want to recondition your body, you start off again. Within 2 to 3 months, you are back in shape. And it doesn't matter how long you have taken. Now, as long as there is no serious pathology in the organs, particularly the musculoskeletal system. Now, the other thing that I would like to say is, a lot of times people will tell you, I have no time for exercise. Do you know you can even exercise when you are standing like this? You're just like that and you can. Whenever you stretch and you concentrate forces in your different parts of the body, you are exercising. And when we, in Iraq and Nigeria, we had a very high risk of being hostages, being taken hostage. And one of the things that we were always trained is never allow your body to deteriorate because you have no space. Even if you are tied up somewhere, exercise. Now, we may not have that. But whenever you are doing work, like what she talks about, parking your car, going upstairs, avoiding using vehicles where you can walk, all that adds up to a totality of exercise. And it is shown that if you can do 10,000 steps in a day, and there are apps, as Mary says, if you can do 10,000 steps in a day, then you know you are getting your appropriate level of exercise. So don't say there is no space. Don't say you are old. You can even do it at 90 as long as you have no serious pathology. So when you are even in your kitchen, when you are working, you can do it. Sometimes my children think I'm crazy because they find me just walking on the, I mean, marking with the tires and moving in the different directions. They say, Dad, are you crazy? I'm exercising. And at the end of the day, you have sufficient exercise. So it is possible. The final thing is things like pushing against walls. You can just exercise with your walls. And you can push, do whatever you want to do, and you're going to remain fit. Thank you.
I want to proceed as there with.
I wanted one question quick for Kibichi.
Sorry.
Because physical exercise, machine exercise.
Yes.
We didn't talk about it, but how do you look at them? Because that's what I do. So sometimes I feel guilty because I just get out of my bed and I just go on the machine. And then it goes, it turns me around, it shakes me up, and then I kind of like wake up, I open up my eyes. So I don't know, is this correct? Or maybe it's Chinese, brainwashes. But that's what I do.
Machine exercise.
They call the body massage machine. So if you drop it shakes you, and then it circulates your blood. You can put your leg, you can put your bum, you can put your chest, but it will just shake you. The best one is just to stand on it. They say it takes the brain in 1 second from your foot to your head. And you can do that for 3 minutes, 5 minutes with your head. When you're comfortable, you can put it on slow, you can do 10 minutes. But I was thinking he would talk about the same. Don't believe in machine or maybe I don't know. What do you think about the machine? Yes. Good. Thank you. Shipping. Yeah. What is this?
Now, because I'm not an expert, you are welcome to add chip and make it healthier, more complete. I will start with the simpler ones. And maybe I'll start with the last one. The vibrating machines. These days you find them even in, I think in some airports, and some malls, other just chairs, you go sit there and you're vibrated. That, for me, is not a workout. It's for muscle relaxation. The way you use an equipment to relax and tight muscle. So you sit there and it vibrates you. So I thought that is for muscle relaxation rather than a workout. Because a workout should be anything that increases your cardiovascular, the heartbeat races beyond 100. Because if it's walking, then it's brisk walking. Brisk walking that increases your heart rate. That even when you talk, you can't talk comfortably. You can't talk smoothly. In fact, when you're walking and you're just strolling like this, and you're saying you're exercising, you're doing nothing because the heart rate, it should be a walk that when you're talking to someone, they can't wait to hear the words properly because you are gasping in between for breath. So my thought is that is for massage, muscle relaxation.
I concur, that is correct.
Yeah, when I had my burnout, because it didn't resolve in 1 week. It actually took 2 months to resolve, meaning it was really bad. And along the way, my boss told me, "Why don't you go and see my doctor for a second opinion?" And I asked him, "So who is your doctor?" He said, "Dr. Silverstein." Then I thought he would pay for me. he called and booked an appointment for me. So I landed in Nairobi. Then they extreme things. One of them was putting me on a treadmill. And connecting with lots of those blood pressure monitor and stuff without a shirt, no shirt. Then I was running on the treadmill. So I ran on the treadmill for I think 15 minutes. So it went up to that 200. Then now they asked me to stop. Now they monitor how long it was going to take for my pressure to move down. So the only thing they deduced from that is that the pressure was taking longer for it to go back to normal. Then they took me to some room, a very cold room, where I was lying there. The guy was moving without a shirt and he was moving a probe on my chest. I think I was told it was MRI or something. And he was checking something on a monitor. So I was there, he did that thing for a whole hour. Then I asked him, "Anything wrong? Because you've taken too long." Then he was looking at the piece of paper with my details. So he could see the age. And he was looking for a problem consistent with that age. So he asked me, "So what has brought you here?" So I explained. Then he said, I had difficulties because I'm seeing a heart of a 40-year-old.
Wow.
And I remember that because Chege mentioned that. He actually said, the heart that I'm seeing and the blood vessels are those of a 40-year-old. So he asked me, "What do you do in life?" So I said, I also work out a lot. Then he said, "No wonder." So he said, "You're okay, you have no problem." So the bill came. I was there for 4 hours. And Then they prescribed 28 tests. They needed to do. Then I thought this is about money. It's about money. So I said, okay, can I know what the bill is first, so that I can know whether to go for these tests? So the bill was 43,000 shillings in 4 hours.
So far.
And then they don't take insurance.
No.
So I gave my medical insurance card. I said, no, we do cards. As we do cash, you don't do even M-Pesa. So that is the story of the 40 years. Now, Helen's supermarket packing. Remember I mentioned, I have seen guys at General Motors knocked, dead, and there's a footbridge. But they're finding it so hard to climb the footbridge. I see people living on first floor, but they keep waiting for the lift to go to first floor. The most ridiculous was a guy I saw who was so huge, a Somali guy, huge, where I stayed. And he was there at the lift. He was carrying 2 huge Fantas. You know those big ones? He had the 2 of them here, this size, and he was standing there waiting for the lift. Tragedy.
Helen sees a lot of those.
So supermarket parking, you park the farthest. And I'm sure you have noted, if you have gone and just watched, people fight for the spaces close to the entrance. They all go and park there and are waiting for someone to pull them so that they go in. No one wants to walk. No one. So you park the farthest point like Helen and then walk to the supermarket. When you come out with your full trolley, push it all the way to your car because you are working your body. This body is all walks. Now the hardest and very interesting one was the boy child. Now the boy child is a huge discussion. Once upon a time, we used to talk about a girl child whose life was endangered. And lots of strategies were employed by government, NGOs to look after the girl child. And I think that's good. We have ended up creating a different problem. Because the boy child now is a problem. But I still don't think that someone has realized that the boy child is a problem. So they are on their own.
Yes.
All of you that have had children, when you are bringing up that son of yours, and the son did something or something pricked them and they started crying, then you would tell them, kijana haliangi, kijana ni kukaa ngumu.
Boys don't cry.
So the boy, why boys kulia ni wasichana? The girl should cry. You boy, you cannot cry. But remember, they are expressing a normal an emotion.
Yes.
It is normal.
Like stop.
But now we've been brought up. Yes, we've been brought up in a system that says that we are rocks. We should not cry. We should not show emotions.
Yeah.
And we end up bottling so much. You don't even say. You're suffering, you don't say, because there are men who are battered by their wives in their houses. They would never say it because they would be laughed at by the entire. Ken would laugh at a guy saying that he was beaten yesterday.
By a wife.
By a very short wife. By a short wife. So they keep quiet, bottling too much, and that's why today I think we have a lot of cases of young men just taking their lives. It just becomes too much. The good ones will just take their own, but some bad ones will also take some collateral damage and go with others. There was one in Kitengela last week. You heard of this man that has a huge, was living in this huge mansion in Kitengela. And they left on a Sunday with the wife, and they went away. He took her to Kitale, and then came back on a Wednesday, arriving at midnight. Then he slept. He woke up at 4 and told the house girl to get out of the house. And he took a kitchen knife and knifed himself, and then switched on the gas and lit it. And the whole house burnt with himself.
And the children?
No, he was just alone in the house girl. But there's so many incidents today of where school kids, small little primary school kids, are committing suicide. Boys, others for different reasons, and I think it is all now a matter of mental health. Because remember, I said that there is life, money, work, and any imbalance causes stress, and stress consistently then becomes mental health. So the society expects me to be the one feeding the family. Even if my spouse earns more, but she also expects that I must be the one to provide, because we were born told that the man must provide. So the pressure on the boy child is too much, and one of the places people run to, and you are advised when you are stressed, is the gym. Because when you go and work out, you come out of there relaxed. It actually works. When you have a lot of stress, walk into the gym and sweat there. When you come out, you feel completely fresh. So we have a lot of, the gym today is full of people for two reasons. The first one is medical. A doctor has said, if you do not work out, you are in trouble. And the other one is the personal problems. And the boy child carries a lot more of these problems today. And I think we need to the emphasis should also now shift to the boy child. The boy child is getting neglected because the focus you are on it. Yeah. So you are aware it has been identified.
Yes, but you need to put meat in it. We have the skeleton, put meat in people, so that we can put them together.
So I know that I have not answered that question well and thoroughly, because I know it's a huge topic, and you are welcome to contribute, because Mikali must have had reasons why she wanted that, she asked that question. I know she's a mother of boys and a girl. She raises them, she has seen the difference between the two groups.
Thank you. We clap for John. Thank you. I think we are doing well. It's 1 o'clock. We need to break, and we shall continue with that even among, just try to find out from one another what they also do, because this wellness is for us and the people around us. And yeah, and for, like I'm saying, we are sharing experiences. Like for me, I know there was a time I was 140 kilos, so I was very round. And I couldn't move. And my daughter says, Mom, this is bad. If you retire like this, it's going to be disastrous. So she prescribed, and we took it seriously with the father. The father does a lot of gardening and mowing, that kamachin. I've also picked now that racial gardening. Unafanya kazi, you work. I was telling them as we took breakfast that since retiring last year, I have decided to plant flowers on pots. So hiyo kazi ya kuendea mchanga na kukuja na kuinama, ina sweat, unatoa vitu, and I post to my daughter so that she also says I'm not a risk. I know when you are healthy, you also make her feel you are now. I'm not taking care, you are careless with yourself. So I also do a lot of gardening, planting the fruits. I also at once decide I don't want anybody to wash my house. So I start from there upstairs. I walk, I feel very good. But unajua, it has to be consistent. And then the other challenge I have, because I live in a rural setup, you decide to walk, then unaulizwa daktari, sasa after retire you have decided you are maybe sicker. So I walk away, because everybody will meet you and have kupatia leave, including the border riders. So it is need to be personalized how you want to get wellness. But I also know
There's some wellness which is also not talked about, but by the time you have done well, you've not dealt with the issues which traumatized you at one stage of your life. If you don't deal with that and overcome, it is also going to, even if you eat, even if you exercise, even if you balance, it is going to eat up on you and on your mental health. And it is good also to try to deal with those challenges which we have undergone. Let us try to deal with them. You visit a counselor, you visit a psychosocial support person, you talk to your spouse if you have friends, and then we don't contribute to being unhealthy. Yes. And then some of us have very nice homes. Very nice indeed. But I also keep on challenging ourselves. Those homes are where you are visitors. You sit on the lawn, you feel guilty. I'll tell you, I might not do it perfectly, but me, I have some resting days. I just want to cook some nice portions and sit with my family and my husband under the tree, under that lawn. And it also gives me some form of satisfaction. Because as I'm maintaining lawn, nani ya visitors, you watakwambia, hey, you have a nice property. Yes. So let us also enjoy what you have worked for. Kama ni hizo dishes, tengeneza uweke kwa dishes just like you do for visitors. The children are gone. If you have a spouse, just enjoy one another's existence. It is actually godly and it is very healthy. And that then once us also we try to take those outings. And it doesn't look odd to us because we started very early. Our children know it. And they also accompany us once in a while. And then we also, because we have a mini football, either English, either US. So sometimes you find us playing football with him at our age. Lakini not really akujiumiza. No. I have to be very careful how I beat that ball. Otherwise nitakuwa casualty. So let's try to put all those things in place. Let us socialize. Let us do what is within our means so that we don't risk our wellness. Otherwise, thank you very much. We are doing very well. Now we shall stand up and say the prayers for lunch. Yes.
That is lunch.
Yes, and please. Utaongea chakula? Yes, finish.
I cannot pray when there are so many pastors. Yes, and so
I'll tell you what she has said.
Okay, so session is finished.
Yes, for now. For afternoon, I'm
asking so that I take advantage so that you don't time me.
I'm still the one in charge.
Yes. So basically, Shibi and Jay did very well. But there is something I really need to add so that we are left with food for thought, which maybe we can discuss in the evening. There is one thing which removes finances from our savings, and that is a sickness. Sickness in the family, sickness to individuals. So if we do not plan properly for that, even what you have saved and put is going to be wiped out. And now the wellness and the finances will be destabilized. I know a lot of us were cushioned when we were working because maybe we were taken care of by NHIA for insurance from work. So now we really need to again reinvent ourselves. Where are we? If you take a cover as an individual, you and your husband, maybe you will be asked for over 120,000 going to 50. Yes. Again, the time is coming when people start getting diabetes, getting blood pressure and things like that. So you will be on constant medicine. Again, even if you are removing that to buy your own medicines, again, it's removing money which is supposed to be saved for you. So we really need to think what she talked about. It jogged my mind. So that is food for thought. How we can come together and do a group cover. A group cover, you will not have a waiting period. Once you pay, it's immediate. And it will be something like maybe 20,000, 30,000, depending on the number you add. And depending on how much you want to. Again, you just need to put your head into the hospital. If you go without a cover, you'll be asked to fundraise. So you don't want all those things. Yeah, so that is something we really need to think about.
Thank you, Madam.
Yes.
Thank you.
So that work will be for her or for whoever will. Somebody needs to run with that idea. Yes, it's very important. Yeah. So we are going to take a photo before lunch. There is an area which has been identified near the swimming pool. So we will follow the young man. Yes, after we get out of here.
We shall pray for lunch.
Sorry, before that,
Yes.
then we need to guide people on what happens after lunch.
Yes.
Please have your lunch. Stay in the, we can wait in the place we waited yesterday.
the get-together was such a success. We were able to meet with 21 people from different, we also had people from different countries. We had from US, Malawi, and one of us traveled all the way from Rome. And we had a nice time. We were also able to learn from each other. We have realized that we have a lot of resources with each other, and we are building each other. The way we came and the way we go back, it will be different. We have learned about the exercise and what we need at this particular time. So I want to thank everyone who was involved in the committee, the preparation, and organizing the whole event. And even the venue was very good, food was good, and we look forward to another of this kind and of this level, that we may be able to build each other, continue with this investment, because it's still a social capital that we have each other. Thank you so much, and God bless you, all of you, until we meet. We have agreed that by the age of 40, then when we will have 40, another 4 years, we'll have another meeting, another great meeting, which will be better, God willing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sometimes I wonder now if people make me a chairman. What is this?